Yeah. Welcome to another edition of the Views from the Friend Zone podcast, quarantine style. We all social distancing. A lot of y'all done lost their damn mind this weekend because they opened up. Everybody on top of each other, dubs, all crazy stuff. But me, I'm keeping my distance. As always, is your boy Real Talk Mall, who I got in the building with me.
Open Shirt Poppy, what up, y'all?
It's your boy Clip Rock Banana.
Yes, we're definitely showing you the beauty of technology. You see, Clifford has an open space where he's at. Mike's drinking a beer somewhere, private, and yeah, I'm still in my room, But how y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling so far with all the opening stuff back up a little bit?
I
Um,
heard, go ahead, Cliff.
no, I mean honestly, yesterday and today been the first time I was really outside. I've been going to Van Cortlandt Park. I'm actually in the park right now with my daughter. But basically, everybody's social distancing and we're chilling in the field and we're doing a picnic. But besides yesterday and today, since it got nice, I haven't been outside really much. But I feel good. I mean, it's kind of weird seeing everybody wear masks everywhere, everywhere you go. But I'm just thankful.
Where
Thankful
your
just to
mask
be,
at, Cliff?
I was
huh?
just about to say that. Where's
Where
your
your
man?
mask at?
Oh, I'm not. I don't have a mask on right now because I'm doing the video, but it's around. I got it right here. Look,
All
don't get it twisted.
Okay.
I
Don't
do
don't let us
videos,
get you sick for doing the show. You know what I'm saying? Be
Nah,
careful.
nah, I ain't around nobody right now, but I got the mask around.
Okay. What about you? Like, I went outside for the first time in 2 weeks yesterday, but I still got a little PTSD. I kind of was staying away from people. I went in, I came back out. I went out, came back in. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping my space. What about
right.
you, Mike?
Well, I can't stay inside. I'm
Yeah.
one of those niggas that then don't listen like that. But I've been keeping my social distance. Whenever I go outside, I have my mask on. Time to time I wear the gloves or whatever. I'm not really contacting with anybody. I just in the car where I gotta go, back to the car, back home. Um, but that's it. I ain't been going crazy with it. But I heard since they opened up Georgia,
A
1,000 new
thousand new
cases, man.
cases. A thousand new cases.
That's test dummies.
Yo, we hard headed, man. The earth is trying to purge us, and we just accepting the invite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna jump right into it. We're gonna talk about something we've talked about in the past, but more and more so how things are changing, dynamics are changing. We got to revisit creating your own table, right?
Yep.
We always cry for a seat at the table, but more and more we realize how we have to be innovative now. That we could create our own tables. We create our own distributions. Like so many people, shout out to everybody who podcasting. There's like a million podcasts now. Clifford sent me an article, I think 2 days ago, about Gilly the Kid and Wallow 267. Barstool gave them this big distribution deal to do, to take their podcast from what they were doing in their studio to broadcast on their website. I always
Oh
talk
wow.
I always talk about the view to the friends going on complex, you know, digitally and stuff. But I say that to say, people are creating their own opportunities, and I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that the having technology, internet, having mobile phones, video cameras, doing your own thing, you have the right skills. You could create your own show and create your own table. So we just like let's further have that discussion. So with the internet and several ways of being able to direct to consumer, should we focus more on creating our own table, or should we still wait the opportunity? What do you guys think?
Definitely this. I mean, I think a lot of time before even Corona happened, a lot of people were doing things independently, and a lot of people were taking the initiative to get their stuff off the ground themselves. It's not always possible. Sometimes you need that backing, but nowadays with technology and what all the resources we do have, you can make things happen pretty much yourself. Like, and it even goes back to rappers that got their name starting on YouTube. They got their stuff out there. They didn't need an A&R, to push their projects and everything like that.
Yeah.
So it's the same in this podcast game. It's the same in even other businesses. Like, if you can make it happen yourself, that's the way to go, and with the shutdown and everything, it's even more prevalent because you can't get outside like that. So you can call people on the phone and make moves on the internet and stuff. But ultimately, you got to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Everything is at your fingertips right now. So why not do it that way?
Yeah, like Cliff always pointed out to me how there's a rapper that a lot of people know who was in the news a couple of weeks ago, NBA Youngboy. He makes like what, $1 million a month off of YouTube alone.
Yeah, he makes.
I was wondering how this nigga make money.
He makes $750,000 every month off YouTube.
Almost $1 million just off his YouTube.
Off YouTube.
Yeah, that's because his subscribership and his views and stuff like that. So my man don't even have to tour. Like right now, touring is shutting down, and he still got that kind of chicken coming in because of his YouTube revenue. There's a young. I'm gonna get your point in, Clifford. I just want to say one thing real quick.
Yeah.
There's a young 7-year-old boy who like reviews toys and stuff like that. I think he makes anywhere between $12 to $20 million a year. Okay? But his last year, he's good for the rest of his life, unless he gets a drug problem or his parents are jerking him. You know what I mean? It's true. What were you gonna say, Cliff?
No, I feel like, especially with 2020 and with the whole internet thing. Shout out to Soulja Boy, because Soulja Boy was the blueprint of really capitalize on the internet. When his first song came out and he went crazy with it, he took it where he didn't really need a label. He just went viral. Soulja Boy was the first real rapper that really got real money off the internet like that. Because before, people wasn't getting money off the internet like that. And then after Soulja Boy, Joe Budden started the podcast game heavy with him and Terry first. And then, it's just so much you could capitalize right now. You don't really need too much people help when it comes to making money now. Like, and then another good thing about the internet and like having resources, you can watch videos and become a millionaire if you in a couple months, 6 months to a year, if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You write
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying you watch the right video. When it comes to real estate, when it comes to stock, when it comes to just taking advice from the right people, from good entrepreneurs, you can make it happen for yourself. A lot of times we say we want to make it happen for ourselves, but we wait too long, and then time bypasses us. Our 9-to-5 hits us, something comes up, and then we start for time, and then we realize we're stuck in the same place, and it's a different year.
I think also a lot of times it's not necessarily having the direction, but just how hard it is. Like, it is hard. It is very hard, to gain followership, to like build an audience and things of that nature. But it's just like, now more than any time, let me just say this. Now more than any time, like, while we was practicing the social distancing, it's a good time to like really be like, when outside open back up, I'm gonna hit them with this. Or, use that time. Like I always say, there's a lot of good shows out there, but at the same time, we got to use that same kind of energy pouring into our dreams. There's a big saying that your job pays you to forget about your dream. So while you're working at home, you could have still attended meetings, but now you're at home, you could also work on your side hustle crazy. This is season.
That's the thing. There's nothing that can replace the social interactions and networking with people. Networking is always the best way to, I think, progress in any field faster. You know what I'm saying? The more people you know, the more of the right people you know, the faster you can get access to the things that you need to get everything off the ground. But at the same time, as we've seen, it's not impossible to do it without those type of connections. You know what I mean? It just might take a little longer. You might have to work a little harder, but it's possible. So make it happen.
It's definitely possible. Wallow267, I follow him on IG. He did 20 years in jail. He said he used to practice interviewing himself and doing the little stuff he do in interview while he was in his cell. I watch their podcast every week on YouTube when the video come up. He said he did 20 years, and now if you look whatever, his net worth is close to $1 million, and he just be doing YouTube video. He go around. he said it's just a matter of how hard you hustle. A lot of times, it's true though. A lot of times we make excuses, but sometimes we don't have. It's not easy to be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do it that or whatever. Too. It's just hard hustle. If a man did 20 years down and came back and hit people like that, it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what, you make a good point, and also, not to take away from him, but having the association with Gilly, who Gilly was still out there and stuff like that, allowed him to transition from being inside straight to having his own thing. But now Wallow's known on his own, even without the Gilly co-sign. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, it's right. It's the grind. It's getting yourself out there. We're gonna move to the next question. Chance the Rapper and other independent artists and small labels like QC. QC got, Little Baby, they got Migos, they got Little Yachty, they got City Girls, you know what I'm saying? And like,
Mhm.
Independent label, obviously anybody who know about CEO, what's his name, Cliff?
Oh,
NBA YoungBoy.
No, the
Oh,
CEO of QC.
um,
Is it
Q,
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 Q, and every people who know them know
QB.
that, yeah, QP know that they was established in the street, but at the same time, savvy business people, and then and like Chance the Rapper hasn't charged for one album yet, and he's a multi-millionaire, right? Because merchandising, shows, positioning himself the right way, endorsement deals, and he never charged for an album or mixtapes and free music. I think his last album was the first time he charged for something. So the bigger question is it a discipline or wanting to be a part of a bigger brand that holds us back, right? Because like, creating your own lane is tough, but there's a lot of people eating that way. But I still feel like we strive to be part of bigger situation. So is it a discipline thing or just wanting to be part of a bigger brand? I even started off saying that I wish our show could be elevated to the platform like Complex, but at the same time, we still have to work on building our own. So what do you guys think?
I think it's a matter of, it's like I said before, it's easier when you got that big machine behind you,
Yeah,
and you're gonna be exposed to more if you got that brand name already, that's already established backing you. You know, you can do it by yourself, and you don't have to have that big machine, but you got to work harder. That's just a simple fact of it. It's going to be harder work. You know, independent artists. There's a reason why they get paid more, but they don't get the exposure. They're not as known as some of the other artists. It's just because they can't reach. They not that they can't. They don't reach as many audiences the same way somebody who's backed by a big company will reach. You know what I mean, on a frequent basis. So it's a give and take. Like you're gonna get more for the profits, and I'm thinking basically music wise when I'm talking like this, but it transcends to other avenues of business as well. You're gonna get more of the profits when you're doing more to work yourself,
yeah,
or your
that's
team
way
is
more
much
work.
smaller.
You got to wear more
Mhm.
hats when you're independent, but at the same time,
Definitely do.
that's why you have to kind of learn. Like even doing the podcasting stuff, I wasn't necessarily savvy with all of this stuff, but I just learned. You cut the videos, you load to iTunes, you do a little marketing, you find out how you could get more viewership and stuff. It's a process, but you got to wear multiple hats to like get things going. And obviously, there's so much more for me to learn, but it's just that it's wearing multiple hats and this trying. What do you think, Cliff?
It definitely. But what both of y'all said, I think is 100%. But I think it's just more of just a lot of times people want to be a big machine because it's easy work. Nobody want to do the research. Nobody wants to take the tapes out of the trunk anymore. Those days are over.
Do that
People like
legwork, yeah.
what I mean. Nobody want to get it how Gucci Man and all them Houston artists
You
who are.
can't though. You
Yeah, you
can't.
can.
Nobody's
But
buying CDs and stuff out of trunks anymore. You
now
got to
I
sell
know.
it online.
I
Yeah,
know,
You know
but
what
what
I'm
I'm saying
saying?
is nobody wants to really do that. Everybody wants that big machine like Def Jam and who else? Dr. Dre's label. What's Dr. Dre label?
Aftermath, yeah.
Um
Aftermath.
aftermath.
Aftermath and Jimmy
Interscope.
and his scope. Everybody wants that
Interscope.
big engine because they know they're gonna put $1 million and they're gonna work for you. But you know, sometimes it's better to take the hard route. And then like Koch, you know, a lot of people sign the Koch because you eat more for Koch when you're a decent artist and you put it out there. Even if you're selling $50,000, I mean 50,000 records, you know what I'm saying? It might not seem a lot, but you get
But
more.
see, what dudes is doing now, they putting their stuff. They starting out independent, right? They putting all that stuff out. They're building up their catalog. So then the big companies come to them, and they have a bargaining chip. You know what I'm saying? Because it's more of a situation now where it's, I don't need you. You know what I'm saying? I got here by myself. Now, if you want me to come into what you're doing and help y'all make some money, we make some money together, you know, my price is going to be much higher than if I was just an artist who trying to find his way into the industry. So they just increasing their value that way.
And at this point, people are just paying, right, for the infrastructure, the distribution, you know, the marketing things that are already established by the bigger people. So sometimes people want that quote unquote crossover money. But like you said, sometimes, you know, it's you sell some of your stuff. Like you kind of give up certain freedoms to do that kind of thing. So is it, you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it cool that I'm the king of the South instead of king of America? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you're the king of the South, you've been eating, you a millionaire, and then that entice like, yo, I want to be mentioned with Jay-Z or such and such, and I need that big crossover. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like we have to decide whether or not we're good enough with just feeding and eating. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times artists have certain crowds and audiences, but it's just like they want to be bigger, quote unquote. But my thing about it is I think we need to more invest in our own thing than worrying about being bigger. Because you could be doing your own thing and then you sign to another label and then something happens and they're like, you know what? Shit. That label came across the next Justin Bieber. So all of a sudden, the energy they was gonna put into you, they're not putting into such and such. As if since you're contractually stuck with them, you know what I'm saying? Now you gotta wait till they decide to pick you up again.
Look what
I was just thinking Megan Thee Stallion.
happened to Megan Thee Stallion, right? She signed for Crawford, the baseball player, for 10 racks, right? A contract which she was happy with because not saying she didn't want to do the work because I don't know her like that. I don't want to just put the narrative like I know her or just treating her bad. But she signed with Crawford, baseball player, for 10 racks, right? She knew the contract. She read the contract. She got popping crazy and whatever too. You know, now she wants to be like, oh, we gotta renegotiate my contract and all this, whatever too. But you, baby girl, you sign what you're supposed to say. People, once you sign to a big engine, they get 40%. No, listen.
It's just like athletes. When you didn't know you was gonna be as big as you was.
Hold on, Mike. 40, record labels take at least 40% from you when you sign to a big label, at least 40% or whatever. And she probably signed a 360 deal. So whatever thing she did, that 10 racks was okay for her at the time when she wasn't born. Granted, she started doing backward moves here or there, whatever, but it's like, if you believe in yourself, you don't have to sign to nobody. You work it yourself. You might not never get on top that fast. He had rap a lot behind him, so she blew up fast. Jay Prince and them was bumping her joint all over. That's how she blew up fast. Nobody who knew who she was until she signed to Crawford. That's what Jay Prince said.
The thing
and then Jay-Z.
With that whole thing, I understand what you're saying, and you're absolutely right. And that's the leverage that these companies have over new artists, new, young, hungry artists who just want to get in the game. But just like, you know, an athlete, right? They sign a contract with a team, right? It's based on what the team expects them to do. When they exceed expectations, right? Even though that contract is still in place, they're like, it's time to renegotiate. Because I've done above and beyond what was expected of me. All right. And the team knows. They're like, okay, we could renegotiate or we could wait till your contract is up. But if they wait till the contract is up, they know it's going to be a lot harder to keep that player because now everybody see what they can do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they decide, okay, let's renegotiate now before the contract is up. Because I appreciate what you've done. We made a lot of money. Let's keep making a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
So it's a good segue to the next topic or the next question, right? Because you kind of brought up athletes, and we've noticed that the NBA Development League has, especially with the disappointment that a lot of athletes had because there was no March Madness, so they was able to use that kind of influence to get some of the top high school prospects to sign to the G League because that's guaranteed money coming into them, and they still can go to the NBA draft at the end of that year. They play in the G League to get drafted to the bigger team. So the question is, G League poaching the top players from college. Do you think that will change the game? I'll start with you,
Go
Cliff.
ahead, Cliff.
You played. I'll start with Cliff. Clifford played collegiate athletics. So, what do you think?
Yeah.
About the whole D League, about the top athletes going to the D League.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to change the game?
I think it's gonna change the game big time because you know what? Like, let's call a spade a spade. When you're a 5-star recruit, and listen, I'm not dissing education because you go, listen, you should get your education to further you in life, period. But when you're a 5-star recruit, and now they can offer up to $500,000, right? I think more,
Yeah.
up to
Yes,
five hundred
that's what
thousand
happened.
dollars.
They raised that
That's
amount.
listen. It's no excuse anymore. If you could get $500,000 and you can't make it work, then there's something wrong with you. So I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna help everybody off, especially like the 5-star recruits, because now a lot of these kids in Alabama, Mississippi, they come from nothing, boy. It ain't like being in New York where you got a good job. These their parents is like, you 6'10", we're relying on you, man. We've been working all our lives. So now they get the $500,000. They could take care of their family for a year. You know what I mean, and help out with the bills or whatever. Listen, let's call a spade a spade. If you got a 6'9", 6'10" athlete and he's a 5-star recruit, your family is counting on you. So you going to college and getting a free education is cool and all, but paying somebody the D League coming to pay $500,000 is gonna help athletes all across the board. I mean, it's gonna kill college, but college ate a long time ago. Fab
College
Five,
sports. Yeah.
Fab Five wasn't getting no real money. Chris Webber
No
took
way.
630,000. They made over close to $500 million while Chris Webber and the Fab Five was there in school, and then they
Good,
was
good.
trying.
Hold on. You see what college did though? College tried to counteract this
That's the
by they
next.
now
That's the
allows
next. That's
players
the next question.
to get paid
No,
off their
but what I'm
likeness.
saying,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shorten it up. I think the D League is gonna play a big role. It's gonna help these high athlete finances, and it's gonna help sports all across the board when it comes to dealing with the NBA and also kids going to college, whatever. The kids are not gonna go to college anymore. If I could go play 1 year in the D League and get $500,000, play with guys right under the NBA, I'm gonna go do it. Because even when I'm 75, I could go get my college degree. There's no limit to education.
And not only that, obviously it's only going to be like five, a good 5 to 7 that gets that 500,000, but it's tiered. Maybe the top 5, top 10 get 500,000. Then under that, if you're the top 20, you get like 150, and under that you get like 75. Which is still, think about it. You get a college degree, you go out to work. You're lucky if you get a $50,000 job, let alone a 75, 150. What's the name with after 1 year? You know what I'm saying? And think about it. Some of these kids' parents don't make $50,000.
Yeah.
What they're doing, what they're doing, that with college, so to speak. Some are still going, not some, but a lot are still going to go to college for 2 reasons. They want that connection. You know what I mean? Even when you go to the league, you want to say, I went to so-and-so university, blah, blah, blah. Some people just want that college experience as well.
Yeah.
Even if it is just for 1 year. Not in football, they got it locked where you can't even get drafted unless you play 3 years in football. So
football
the
is a
NBA,
slave league, Mike. Football is a slave league.
You're right. You're right. But then again, with the NBA and them doing the G League and this paying the players now, it's going to depend on, like you said, if there's a player who coming from nothing, he ain't got much, you know what I mean? As opposed to there's some talented dudes that have well-to-do families, and their family, might have always expected them to go to college. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say, well, you're not hard up for nothing. You know, we still providing what you need and everything like that. So go to college, and if you just only want to do 1 year, that's fine. But they may not be so inclined to just say, hey, I'm gonna jump into the G League and play whatever. Because college is still, though you're not getting paid, it's still a great advertising tool. Like your name is getting out there, especially if you're good. You will be
But
known before you
Hey,
even
hey,
get
but
to the
let me tell you how crazy it
G
could be
League.
though.
Is who's watching G League basketball?
No, but let me tell you how crazy it could be though. The why college sometimes don't benefit. You a 5-star athlete, whatever. Boom, you signed to Louisville. You signed to Duke. Rick Pitino and Coach K is either their way or the highway, unless you Kyrie Irving or that kind of dude where they know you're gonna do whatever too. Sometimes you a 5-star recruit. You come into that program and the coach realized, hold on, I don't like this kid. Now you went from you was gonna be a top 10 draft pick. Now you're talking about transferring to another university because you can't get along with this coach. And you could have got that $500,000, which is the D-League, which is going to provide you right now.
It's a key term. It's a key thing called opportunity cost. Opportunity
It's
cost.
for opportunity. And then also going to college, you're building a program, you meet connections. Yes, you get that discipline for life skills. But then now you saying you was in practice, you hurt your knee. You tore your ACL. Now you're not even on the draft radar no more because you out for a year now. You could that could
I
happen
mean,
in
but
the D.
that could happen. That could happen in
That
the
could
G
happen
League
in the
too.
D League,
You
but
know what
that
I'm
happened in the
saying?
D League. But now you're already in that. You in the exposure of where NBA comes to see you regardless. You understand? NBA don't come to see you unless you got that connection.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
to do a crossover of what we was talking about earlier with the major record labels, right? Going to college now is like signing to a major label. You kind of get the recognition. You know, you get Dickie V to talk about you 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? Or the ESPN people to talk about you, help build up your brand, help get you these followers, help college craze and stuff like that. And then now, when you're ready to go to the NBA, you got people who already been following you already, kind of thing. Like you. There is a development, right? You kind of get developed in college. They try to sell you that they develop you for the rest of your life for education, which is which is a false, but it's really that exposure because it's an established brand that people already know. But the last question on this topic is to jump into what Mike was saying. College basketball, NCAA has a name and likeness rule. Is they're changing so that they're now trying to make it that athletes could benefit off of their name and likeness. For example, you go to school in Kentucky, there's a big car dealership in Kentucky who wants you to come down and endorse, hey, when I drive a car, I drive Tom Ford's or whatever, etc. Or maybe you could do something with Gatorade on a small scale or whatever, Powerade or whatever. So now the NCAA is like, you know what? We thought about it. Times have changed. We're gonna let them do that. But everybody knows they're just scared because they're realizing that the gig is up. They've been using people for long enough, and now people are just like, yo, I want this anymore. So, do you think this change is going to make kids say, all right, you know what? Now that I can make a little money in college, I might go to college and stay for 1 or 2 years because I'm having fun. You know, a lot of these college kids love being around college women. I'll make money for 2 years, then I'll make real money in the league. So, do you think that's going to counteract what the G League is doing? Go ahead, Mike. Let's start with Mike.
I think it's gonna slow down the process, right? But if I understand that allowing players to make money off their likeness, that's not just a college basketball thing, right? It's college athletes across the board.
Yeah, I said the NCAA.
Okay, so
college basketball, NCAA.
Yeah, so
not to interrupt you. There's only 2 revenue generating sports in college: basketball and football. Football really makes money for everybody. Basketball really makes money for them to break even. Everything else is donations. Everything else is money off of them.
So a lot of people. I think it's going to be the same group. That group that need that money. You know what I'm saying? Out the gate and have that talent and they play ball. They gonna go to the G League. You know what I'm saying? And get that 500,000. I just think so. They may not want to deal with, like you said, the big name coach who they might not get along with or whatever. So they're gonna be like, yo, let me just go
And
over here, stop here, do what I do, and then get drafted. But it goes back to Ed O'Bannon with this whole likeness thing, because we talking about like video games and stuff where they was able. I'm trying to figure out still how that's gonna affect athletes. Are they gonna get paid now when the video games, the NCAA 2022, whatever, or the whatever those video games they
see,
play with
after the
college
Ed
sports.
O'Bannon thing, the popularity of the NCAA basketball game and even the football game kind of died because of all of the speculation and not wanting to pay people and stuff like that. What were you gonna say, Claire?
I mean, and then like let's the requirements to play in college is kind of high. Like, you know, a lot of times some people are not good test takers. So now you got these ACTs, SATs, and all this on this stuff that some of these high profile athletes they couldn't pass them anyway. Not to say they whatever. You know, some people are not good test takers. So you got all these requirements. Then all of a sudden you go to the university. Then they find out you was taking money in high school. Then all of a sudden you can't play for a year. Now all of a sudden you stuck at the school and now you've been suspended for allegations. It's all kind of things when you go to college. If you know you're a 5-star recruit, it's best to go get the money and then say if your parent and make an agreement with your parents, listen, when it's all said and done, I'll go back to college. But you know, like listen, basketball is the only profession where you could come out the gate, getting doctor money or lawyer money straight out of high school. What profession can you go, even at the college education, get that kind of money right out the gate? Think about it.
No, you're right, and just like we was talking prior to the show, our pre-show, you know, you have kids, no regulation for them to make money on internet. Little kid reviewing toys, making 10, $20 million a year just from reviewing toys, building a brand. He don't have to give the NCAA or nobody no money. That's straight his money. That's straight open market. That's America's built off the open market. But I don't know why we choose to use the NCAA to decide to like control how people can make money and stuff like that, making money off the backs of people. That's as American. That's as American as American pie as well. So we're gonna move to the next topic, right? And it's professionalism or marriage. A lot of times, it's like, and you know, I wish we'd have had a woman guest, but you know, such short notice. A lot of times, there's a sacrifice between pursuing being a professional or being married and starting a family. And then a lot of times for like high net worth people, you got artists like Drake, Rihanna, and stuff like that, where it's just like it's almost a liability for them to stop and get married, right? Because you build this big brand. Of course, you want to be loved and stuff like that, but it's just like people don't want to sign a prenup, or people, you know, people feel like, oh, why should I sign a prenup? And it gets sticky. You know, money makes things sticky. So we're just gonna discuss, you know, what is the, you know, when you're in these situations, is there any, you know, real advantage of getting married, or is it better just to pursue your career and just live good? You know what I'm saying? We all want to be loved at the end of the day, but we also know how difficult 50% of marriages end in divorces and things of that nature. So let's discuss it. More people are foregoing being married and pursuing happiness and vocation. What do you think about that? So the question is, more people are saying, you know what, I don't really need to get married. I love my career. I have a good time. I vacation. I do whatever. Sometimes they have children, but you know, decide just to co-parent and not necessarily be married to the person, right? So what do you
Well,
think about that?
one thing is simple. One thing you can do at any point in your life, and that's essentially getting married, finding somebody that you're in love with, and starting a family. You know, for the most part, you have a larger window on when you can do that, right? Certain, and not all, but like certain careers, you have to jump on when you're young, right? You have to get in young, or athletics, so to speak. You know, you're not getting into the league in your 30s. That's
Yeah.
usually when your career is winding down. It's a young man's game, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same sometimes in business. They don't trust you, you know, where it's like hypocritical too, because a lot of times to get in certain companies, they want you to have experience, you know, but you're like, I'm 22 years old, I'm fresh out of college, I have no
Yeah.
experience,
Yeah.
right? It's, you know, so you're gonna give me the job because you believe in me or what? But that's the thing. They like younger employees because you know you can get more out of them in the long run. If they're faithful to the company, they'll be there 10, 15, maybe 20 years or so. And starting a family during that time, especially for a woman, you know, it inhibits the things that they're able to do. You know, having a baby, going on maternity leave, or just starting a family in general. Those things tend to distract you and get in the way sometimes of the things that you have to or you need to do in your business aspirations. So I feel like ultimately a lot of people are choosing to, you know, start families much later in life than they have been in the past. Because in the past, people were getting married and starting families in teens, so to speak. But people realize now they want to get that bag first. They want to get that established and then start the family.
Go ahead, Cliff.
Yeah, to piggyback what Mike was saying, I honestly, as a married man myself, I don't think there's any benefit to getting married, especially when you have a high profile career, because it's like your window of opportunity, especially when you're a rapper or a singer or whatever, too. You got 5 to 7 good years. That's if you're really high profile. After that, there's a new wave. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be somebody hotter than Lil Wayne. There's going to be somebody hotter than Drake. You know what I'm saying? And Drake Drake is as big as they
Pretty hot.
come right now. But what I'm saying is, you if you do want to start a family, you got to know that woman or man, and they got to know the sacrifices they're making to be with you. And that's to call a spade a spade. So signing a prenup, saying not to say I don't love you, but I'm investing everything I worked hard for. So it's not saying that our relationship is gonna start off bad. It's saying that I came in this relationship somebody who was on top already, and I want to keep it that way. But also, I want to make sure that you're good too if we do have kids. But
Yeah.
you know, it's no benefit being being married or being in a serious relationship if you're really just focused on your career. You should just have fun. You should enjoy life because you can get married at 45 and 50 and be happy. You could be married early. Listen, Grant Hill and Tamia been together forever. And Grant Hill was the one of the athletes that they said has never cheated on Tamia. That's known from I listen, that's the same from other whole high profile women that's in the game. Shawnee O'Neal said that she talked to mostly all these NBA wives and
Right.
the one athlete that known for a fact, Grant Hill. See, Grant Hill tradition, he came from mother and father and he went to build that. If you're a high profile athlete in whatever sport you are, whatever, and the woman's not willing to sign a prenup or the guy's not willing to sign a prenup or whatever it is, it don't have to be sports or entertainment, whatever. You know, you can always start a family later. It's what you want in life. You know what I'm saying? But they gotta realize the sacrifices you're making.
Yeah. I think.
Being with me is a sacrifice.
Yeah.
You're not. It's gonna be a lot of times I'm not gonna be around
Yeah.
because I gotta get the money.
Yeah. So a big thing that people have to realize is just like the prenup, protecting yourself from all that you built and stuff like that. It's a very tough thing. A lot of times, and not to say that there's a lot of women out there plotting or even men out there plotting, but it's a come up if you get Drake to give you a baby. You know what I'm saying? It's a come up if you get one of these high pro athletes, put them on child support and stuff like that because of them having these wild crazy nights and stuff like that. So that's why it's like also brings up another aspect of when you're this high profile athlete, position, professional, do you take the chance of dating someone who's not of the same income or the same level of success with you? Do you take the chance as a high profile person and be like, damn, I seen Shorty on IG. She bad as hell. Her pictures is crazy. But you know what? All she do is make money off her name and likeness, but she don't really make money. She just hot. and she's looking for a high profile person to kind of
That's
promote
why
lifestyle.
you gotta be a good judge of character. It ultimately comes down to it. Yeah, you're enticed by that, what you said, the IG models and doing this and doing that. And not all of them are bad people, but ultimately you know where their focus is, and that's not knocking them for that. Their focus is on their bread. Nobody gonna take care of them but them. So I understand absolutely. They out there trying to get their bread. Now, if you're thinking about getting to a marriage with one of them or somebody like that, you have to um, be a good judge of character. You meet them, you got to feel them out, you got to speak to them and pick their mind. You can't get all love struck or caught up in the way they do this and that to you, you know what I'm saying, and make a rash decision.
Yeah.
You got to be smart about it.
If I could give anybody advice, I say you gotta marry someone with a similar ambition as you. They may not necessarily want to be what you're doing, but they gotta have a passion and an ambition that they bring to the table. Because if you start messing with someone who's just like, oh, I just want to make you happy, I just want to make our life good, then you're kind of like you become a meal plan for a person. You become their nest egg. And if you meet someone and you guys decide that that's what you want to do, I'm gonna be the breadwinner. You stay at home. I'll take care of you.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that's
But
it.
at the same time, you gotta also understand that, like, you also have to see, like you said, the judge of character and to see, is it worth it? Is it worth to have someone who's just gonna be stay home, dedicated, do our stuff like that, but you take the risk of losing sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So the next question is, and you kind of covered this, Mike, is the average age of people getting married is getting later and later. Is this a good thing or not? I I take it as double, right? Because the tough thing is, women as a woman get older, it's harder and harder for them to have a baby. It becomes a high risk baby, so you kind of risk those things. But at the same time, getting married after you lived your life, I think, gives you a better chance of the marriage surviving because you understand life more. I think a lot of times we used to be taught to find somebody you love, live your life, and then you people get married at 19 years old. By 25, you're like, damn, I didn't even really live my life. I got 2 kids now. I'm married. I got the job I don't like, and now you just like looking to escape, and you still technically a baby, not figuring out life. So what do you
I
think?
I feel like I think honestly I feel like the best age for a person to get married is after 25, because at least you giving yourself some time to develop, especially for a man. You give me some time to know what life is about, at least. You know what I'm saying? At 25, if you still doing the same stuff after 25, that's just the person who you are. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
when you get married before then, it's like you
You don't
you
know
you you
yourself.
you
You
still
don't
you
really know
not
yourself.
even that.
Yeah.
You're not being honest to yourself, because you still doing some of the stuff. You still out there like that. After 25, you could still be out there too. I'm not saying that, but you give yourself a better chance for the marriage to last longer. You know what I'm saying? And then also, get marrying young is, it's not saying that marrying young, same way guys like to test the water and see what's out there. Girls like to do it too. Then they realize, damn, I'm stuck in this relationship, whatever too. And all it's gonna lead is to cheating, both parties. I think so. All it's gonna lead is to cheating, both parties, because now you got married so young. You're looking at it like, damn, I still want to do this. I still want to do that. I think after 25 is a good age to get married. Even after 30, 32, 30 is a good solid age to get married too. Before then, it's like you kind of rolling the dice. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. What do you think,
Yeah.
Mike?
I absolutely agree. Like I've stated before on the show, I believe, I know, me and you in discussions, one of the reasons my marriage didn't work is because I did it so early. I was way too young. Um, and ultimately it didn't work out because of that. Like Cliff was saying, there was a lot of stuff I was still wanting to do that I didn't get the opportunity to, and I wasn't straight up and real with myself that these things were that important to me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So ultimately, I tried to do them while in a marriage, and that's never going to work. So You should wait. I think, I don't want to say you wait forever. Everybody's different. Some people can get married in early 20s and be successful and happy. It's not for everybody though. I just think the longer you wait, the more you'll know yourself and you'll know what you're looking for in a partner. And the more established that person will be. You see what I'm saying? It's just like finding somebody who's um, accomplished in the way, because you got women out here looking for guys to have this, and this, and they don't have half of that. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? You gotta give people time to grow.
You hit a point so wonderfully that I would like to co-sign. You wait. It's smarter to wait a certain level of life yourself, because also you get to look at your partner and be like, okay, I'm 27, you 27. What has this person been doing with themselves till the age 27? You know what I'm saying? Because if you when you get married at 19, 20, y'all both ain't do shit. So you don't know what the potential of what you guys are able to do. Not saying by 27 you should accomplish everything in the world, but at the same time, you had your years to kind of F up, experiment, do whatever, and then you had your years to grow up and kind of learn from them. By 25, 27, if the person, like Clipper said, hasn't learned from their mistakes, or still doing the same things, haven't grown, then to me, that's a flag for me to be like, you know what? That's not somebody I could build with. If you out here not marrying for someone to build something with, then you're making a mistake. You asking yourself for a liability. You asking yourself for making pain. You know what I'm saying? If you only marrying because shorty look cute or the sex is good, that shit dry. That well dries up. That well dries up. I don't
Yeah.
Amen.
I don't care who you are. That well dries up. That sex being good all the time. Don't get it twisted. There are people who've been married for a long time still have healthy sex lives. But at the same time, you could even ask those people with the healthy sex lives.
You.
That's not
Not
that,
many.
but that's not even on the top five of the list on why they still together.
Yeah.
I say that's just a nice cherry on the top. You know what I'm saying? So see that we're making the best of quarantine and social distancing. But
Yeah.
like you guys both said, I do believe you should put more emphasis in developing your career and your professionalism over, searching for relationships. You should have both, but at the same time, you also need to establish yourself, be comfortable, know who you are, know where you're going. Because when you find that special person, they add to the journey. They become your
Yeah.
navigator. Or sometimes they might even become the person that leads you to that next step. But if you lost and you think you're going to marry someone and they're going to make you get on track, that's false. Especially as a man, because women aren't looking for a dude they have to put on track. Because once they feel like they have to direct you, point you to everywhere, kind of become your moms, they lose interest, bro. You
That's
become
that's a fact. Listen, ain't no woman trying to do build a bear with a man.
yeah.
Ain't no woman trying to do build a bear with a man. So if you do want to get married, and know that you're trying to build each other at the same time, and going in the right direction. But somebody if somebody me, I've been married since 2014. That's going on 6 years. I've been with my wife since 22. We 30. She 35. I'll be 35 Tuesday. We've been together 12, 13 years now. And trust me, it's a storm. It ain't easy. What I
It ain't easy.
we got married at 28. What I say is, if it's somebody like a young couple would ask me, I would tell them, listen, man, get married if this is what you want to do and you want to really build with this person. If you know you still got certain ways that you can't fix, and not saying marriage fixes that, but you got to, at a certain age, you able to build and tolerate certain things. You
Well,
get
listen,
married.
y'all heard this story that they was telling Gabrielle Union how she told Steph Curry and Aisha when they was younger and they was dating. She was like,
Oh
y'all
yeah,
should just
yeah.
break up
She,
now. Go
she,
go do y'all fucking because this ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
But they chose to stay together. Even though they was a young couple, they got married and they
But
but
started
but
you
you
together.
get Aisha saying shit like, I wish people would show me the attention and love like my husband
Yeah.
did. She wants Slick Dick Willie away, but she not gonna mess up that kind of bag though. She's not gonna mess up that kind of bad.
You would hope not, but
You would hope
she
that.
better stop talking to Gabrielle
But at the
Union.
same time, she don't get it twisted. Married people have desires to be desired regardless. Even when you're happy, even when everything's cool, even when you like sex is good and stuff like that. People, it's in our human nature to want to be desired. But you know what I'm saying? But you make things better when you kind of get those kind of things out of your system, or you have experiences to relate to. I always used to tell my nephew-in-law that, like, yo, you really don't know what kind of food you like till you went to a buffet. You know what I'm saying? Because once you had that buffet type experience, you had a little of this, you had a little of that, then you kind of know what you like. Same thing, and not to compare women to food, but same thing about those relationships and those experiences. You gotta you gotta go for a chick you had no experience, you had no chance of getting in. You gotta have those kind of experiences. You also gotta have a chick where it's just like, you know what? I wasn't that attracted to her, but she had so much going on. I said, let me give it a shot. You gotta have those experiences so you can become a level-headed person. I feel like, when you chase this one thing and you get it kind of thing, there's so many what ifs. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest with you, and I know the Christians who listen are gonna be against me, but it's just like, in this day and age, it doesn't make sense to get married as a virgin. You know what I'm saying? It leaves a lot to be desired. Imagine you're a woman, you waited to your 30s, never had sex, 35 years old, you marry a guy, and he's terrible. He's terrible.
You can't say that at that point. Can you, if you never had it, how can you say whether it's terrible or great, right?
Because guess what? You know what feels good. You know what feels right. You eat it. It's just like, that's why when women say this dude doesn't know that he's bad in bed, I don't believe it. I just feel like a dude just feel like, yo, my ego is not gonna let me acknowledge that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
But when it comes to that, it's more like, you really never know if you really doing a great thing, because when the person's in love with you, care about you, they're not gonna bruise your confidence. So sometimes, yeah, marrying a virgin is something that is definitely not a plus to me. I feel like you should have a sexual experience before you get married, because you got to know what you're dealing with. If that's the first person you like, damn, this is what I waited for, it might push you to cheating.
Yeah.
Because that's your first encounter. And then, your first encounter, when you engage with somebody, you get in that connection, your first experience, you might be like, oh, it was crazy, whatever, too. You still got to learn that body. You still got to learn.
But that's what I'm saying. If they've never done it before, they can't just ultimately say, oh, this person was so bad. How you know it wasn't you? Maybe you was the one that was bad because you don't know what you was doing. Yeah. So that's why I say, they can't really judge it if they've never done it themselves. You know what I mean?
But you know what feels good and what don't. You know what I'm saying? So
it never feels good the first time, at least for women. So I've heard. Very rarely. It's more painful than anything.
So to move the conversation along, we kind of discussed this briefly, but to get more in depth, can prenups ruin a marriage or protect both parties? You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think? I think a prenup, for a mature person, they're like, sure, whatever, because a lot of times they're like, yo, I got my own thing, stuff like that. It's when someone brings an imbalance into the situation, right? Like, you'll never hear a woman, even if a woman's a millionaire, right? Even if a dude's a millionaire and a woman makes 6 figures and she's good and stuff like that, he say the prenup, she'll be like, sure, I got my own shit, I know how to make money, whatever. I love you for you, kind of stuff like that. It's sometimes when it's an imbalance where it's just like, hold on. Part of the reason why I want to be with you is because you're going to provide for me and you're going to give me this lifestyle. You're telling me that if things don't work out, you're going to put me back to where I was before you. Now I'm not signing up for it.
A prenup is not going to ruin marriage. First of all, if the two parties are truly in love and it's written properly. You know what I'm saying? If it's written outlandishly.
A prenup should give you something to leave you comfortable. But I shouldn't have to get bankrupt for the prenup. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, a prenup is just saying, listen, what we went into, We getting this. What we went into, what I had, and what you had, and if we got kids, we make it work. If that's not fair, then what is?
But that's not 100% fair. Only because you got to think about it. Say it's tough. Say if you marry a up and coming artist, right, and stuff like that. You a big dog. She was a background singer and stuff like that. Y'all get married. Boom, you sign a prenup. Now, part of the marriage, you made her stay at home. She couldn't pursue her acting career no more. She couldn't sing her singing career. She couldn't do stuff like that. Her opportunity cost was she don't know what her career could have been. But because you guys got married and said this is the lifestyle we live, so she needs to leave that. If the marriage don't work out, she has to leave compensated somehow because she foregone part of her career. She foregone her chances to make money. So I don't believe in a prenup that says you came in with one suitcase, you leave with one suitcase. But at the same time, I'm worth $1.4 billion. The prenup that I would sign with a woman is I'm gonna give you $200 million if we don't work out. Now, people will be like, "Oh no, that's fair." No, that's not fair. She deserves $750 million. No, $200 million, you're gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be good, and that's fair. It should be fair. Prenup should be fair and not necessarily gouging. And I think a lot of times you don't sign a prenup.
It's gouging. That's the thing. It's gouging a lot of times, especially when you talk about the children, and the child support is gouging. These women with these outrageous child support orders saying they want $50,000 a month to take care of these kids. What child do you know needs that kind of money?
Mike, let me tell you something. Listen, $50,000 a month, a grown man don't need that. Okay, with all his faults, he don't need that. If you need $50,000 a month for what you call it to survive in anything, whatever, your lifestyle's too high. So when the court does that, that's just being malicious. Nas had to pay that to Khalees at one point.
Insane.
And she you know, she came in with money. She didn't come in with Nas money, but she came in with money. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's tough. So this is the last question on the topic is it worth it to get married if you're rich?
You said what? Say it again.
Is it worth it to get married if you're rich?
Is it worth to get married if you're rich?
Yeah.
I don't see the benefit, but you know.
Companionship, a partner. Wait, how about get a throuple?
Huh?
I say you have a throuple, so then at least you can switch it up a little bit.
I don't see the benefit.
I think this. It's, and this is gonna sound crazy, right? Because we always judge women for saying that. But I feel like you should only get married to someone who can lose as much as you can lose if you don't work out.
Erica, come in.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you marry someone and all the risk is on you. None of the risk is on them. You know what I'm saying? So
we can.
Oh. My bad, John. I was screaming again.
So I also feel like you should get married if both parties, you know, stand at risk to lose. You know what I'm saying? So if you worth $1 billion, a couple $100 million, if you marry someone and you know, like you said, what they bring to the table is just they're just looking to be taken care of, and you kind of like there's no real true benefit, but just love. Love is not enough. Love is not enough. You know what I'm saying? So because we only got 5 minutes, we're gonna go through this last topic kind of fast, right? So the last topic is high profile women. Like we was talking about, like, you know, these IG models and stuff like that, who's just like, you know, they're in the limelight. Men love them. Men. I don't want to say men love them. Men fantasize about them. Men fetish these women and stuff like that. Do you have what it takes for that to be your woman? You know what I'm saying? So first question is, can you date a woman who's a high profile, like Bernie Bogos or Rosa Acosta, where it's just like so much of their image is sexualized in
Delicious.
that.
I
Hmm.
mean, it's all about how secure are you as a person, right? Like, even listen, you're gonna have some insecurities if your woman got 1 million followers on IG, and then and 980,000 is mostly men. You're gonna have some kind of insecurities in that relationship. But you gotta know when you was courting that woman was bringing that to the table. So it's all about how you secure as a person. If you look at it like, you know what, I'm gonna rock out with this, I'm gonna trust her and give her that value, then it's cool. But if you know that you can't handle it, don't deal with a situation like that. Because all you're gonna do is give yourself a headache. Next thing you know, you're doing stuff out of character. You know what I'm saying? So it's not worth it.
Yeah. What
My
do you
thing
think?
is, I'm only dealing with her if she's doing stuff that I can respect. I know you got these chicks now on IG. They doing more than just dancing and showing their ass, and they doing some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if she's taking it to that extent, because the fan pages need a little bit more than what you put on your regular IG or
Yeah.
whatever. So it's a matter of, do I respect what she's doing? Do I understand why she's doing it? With the things that she did to get those million followers. You know what I mean? If I'm okay with that, then I can be okay with her. But
Yeah.
that's what it's all about.
To me, it's tough. Like you said, I respect you getting your money, you getting your chicken and stuff like that. Like, I use Bernice Burgos and Rosa Costa, very sexy women and stuff like that. But they do have a little line that they draw. There's these OnlyFans deep level, every picture is just crotch shots and look at my stuff and like zoom in kind of stuff like that.
You
To
know
me,
who Sharice Mills is, right? Sharice Mills. That's one I follow now. I'm not on her fan page, but basically, from what I hear on her fan page, she's fucking herself. Like, you know what I'm
there's,
saying?
you know,
With a
and don't
dildo and
get
everything.
twisted.
So
Everybody serves a purpose in this world. Maybe that's their purpose. Maybe that's their gift to the world kind of thing. As a man, to me, especially a man of my age, to me it's kind of tough because I kind of it's not that I care about what everybody think, but at the same time, I kind of need my woman to kind of be a reflection of me and my values. You know what I'm saying? So if the way a woman carries herself is not a reflection of my values and what I want in my life, it's hard for me to like. Don't get it twisted. I follow these people just like everybody else follow. I like or whatever and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't think that's a reflection of who I want on my arm. So the next question is, they say you want a woman in the streets and a freak in the bed, but can you date a freak in the streets and a woman who carries herself extremely sexy? Like some of these, more than twerking and show you their crotch kind of stuff like that, and OnlyFans type can if that's how the person you're choosing to date carries themselves, like y'all go out to eat, her breasts is forget sexy, it's like beyond sexy, it's almost like lingerie because there's a new kind of trend where women wear like lingerie type stuff to the club and out and stuff like that. Then you date someone who leaves little to the imagination when you guys are out and about.
when we're out together, or when
Yes.
they go out by themselves.
When you out together, out by themselves.
No. Yeah, I'm not gonna be with a woman who dresses a certain way. If
And I
I'm
know
not out there with
I
her.
know we're gonna get killed for that. People gonna get killed for that. But at the same time, I'm
Mm.
old enough to be like, yo, that's not how I want my woman to be dressed.
Because I feel like you can dress sexy and keep it classy at the same time. You don't
Exactly.
I,
have to
I
be overly sexy where like you can't even move in certain positions because your tip might pop out, or you
if
can't
I if
bend
I if
down because your whole ass is showing.
Yeah. What are you gonna say, Cliff?
I feel like, if the woman doesn't show enough respect that she's in a relationship, even with her parents, then she shouldn't be with you. Period. She gotta listen. At the end of the day, it's different when you out there courting people and you still out there. But if you're in a relationship, you should know what's gonna be respectful and still classy enough to make yourself feel good and make yourself your significant other also feel confident at the same time, which is very important. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta put it all out there if you're in a steady, happy relationship. You can still put it out. If you got it, you got it regardless.
Yeah.
So
So the last question is, can you date a woman who posts very racy pics on Instagram and Facebook? And I mean, like, it don't necessarily have to be complete, nudity, but it's just like very crazy, or like, this is what I'm doing tonight, and put like a cucumber in her mouth kind of thing, or simulate sex acts and post it just for fun kind of thing. Can you date someone like that?
I could definitely date him because that's what we're gonna do is date.
But I mean,
It's not gonna go nowhere else.
Date for to become something. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, bro. Probably not. I can't. I mean, this is the thing. It's hard for me, especially somebody in my position. I got a daughter who's 17 years old, about to be grown. Like, if I'm dating somebody and my daughter sees her IG and that's the type of stuff she's doing, then I tell my daughter, I don't want to see you doing this type of stuff, but daddy likes women who do this type of stuff. It's just too hypocritical for me. I can't do it. I can't do it. Now, I could have
you can have a good time.
I could have a good time. Yeah. But to say that that's going to be somebody I'm going to build the future with, I don't really think so.
What about you, Cliff?
To piggyback what Mike's saying, yeah, I can have a good time with you, but I'm not gonna take you serious. You ain't gonna be the person I'm like, all right, yeah, this is what it is. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna keep it moving, and that's it.
Yeah.
I can never take you to that level.
Like I said, I'll close out by saying this. I'm not this old school person. I understand things are progressive, things, independent women and things. Get it. Dress how you feel. But at the same token, just understand, I am always going to show you respect, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I want you to be women on my side. You carry yourself that way. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's going to love you. You know what I'm saying? Someone's going to marry you and stuff like that. It just don't got to be me. You know what I'm saying? It could be the next person. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. So that's another good episode. Shout out to everybody who's following us. Everybody give their shout out before we start out.
Yo, go ahead, Cliff.
Go ahead.
Now I'm just gonna say shout out to everybody that's still holding it down in this quarantine, man. Stay strong. Don't be jumping out the windows. We had a couple nice days. This was a nice weekend, the weather and everything like that. Keep practicing social distancing. Because listen, the summer's coming. Let's just be safe now, and maybe we'll actually be able to really enjoy it come summertime. Thanks for all the fans, all those that follow us. Keep tuning in.
Shout out, just shout out to everybody who's follow us, who's been following the podcast for years and stuff. What you call it, and stay safe. That's all.
Oh, one more thing too. Those who want to have some fun and do a little gambling, come to @Nunu_Nels Casino. We gambling, spinning that wheel. Come on, IG, have some fun with us.
Cool. I just want to say happy early birthday to Cliff Rock Banam. His birthday is Cinco de Mayo. Big salute to him.
Cinco de Mayo.
The big 3-5, and happy birthday. I also want to say, shout out to everyone who's, like Mike said, practicing social distancing. Shout out to our first responders. Shout out to those who are essential workers who are pretty much out here risking their lives and don't get the credit that they deserve. We thank you. We salute you. You allow us to live the life that we're living and continue to live the life that we're living. So I appreciate that. Like Mike was saying, social distancing, don't let the fact that they're opening things back up make you go back and act a fool. You can still get sick. You can still, it can still affect you. You can still die. It's crazy. Mike brought this up before we, I don't know if you said it during the show, before the show. Georgia has 1,000 new cases since they opened back up. You know what I'm saying? And just think about it. Georgia has space, even though certain places are tight. Us in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, where we're heavy populated, we don't have that liberty. Don't let that nice weather fool you. Some of you are going to die exposed to this. Not everyone's going to survive COVID. People are dying for reasons. Be safe. Put your mask on. Wear your gloves. Don't hang out and chill amongst people. Keep space.
No
Get in
parties.
and get out. You know? We out. Peace.
Yeah,
Hey.
man.
Fun.